Liverpool, Real Madrid, two European heavyweights going head-to-head yet again. Yes, people, welcome to the Liverpool versus Real Madrid match preview. How are we feeling after the Newcastle United win? Yes, it was a very good first half performance. Second half, yeah, a little bit all to pieces ahead. But we are here for the big preview. And I'm delighted to say that I've been joined by three guests who have not been on this channel for what seems like ages, has to be said. I'm joined by Mr. Steve Plunk from Redmen TV. How are you, Steve?
I'm good, mate. Always a pleasure to have a chat with football with you, my friend. We were speaking off air. It might even be 12 months since we were on the same stream together. And I've been on the streams with both these two boys since. So, yeah, always good to come back, mate. Always a pleasure to have a chat with you. And anyone who hasn't subscribed to your channel already, who catches a sight to this, really should, because you're a good lad, mate, and you deserve all the support you can get.
Thank you very much. I do appreciate it. You will hear his dulcet tones on audio more than YouTube these days, but I'm delighted to say I've been joined by Mr. Mick Moran from the Copite podcast. How are you, Mick?
Yeah, all good. Nice one. It feels weird, actually, to be like jumping on a live stream. Yeah, it takes me back to like 6 weeks ago. Not that long, really. But no, appreciate the invitation. So I meant to be on last week, wasn't I? But work got in the way. But yeah, nice one for inviting me on, and always a pleasure to talk footy with you with these legends. So all good.
Absolutely. And yes, last but not least, well, we could potentially have an Ireland versus Scotland showdown next month for the Six Nations, but here we talk everything LFC. Mr. Dave from Dave LFC Chats. How are you, mate?
I'm fantastic. Great. The legends continue. The legends are on. We're going to chat about the Reds. Loving it. Really looking forward to tomorrow night. About a week ago, before the Everton game, I wasn't looking forward to any type of fucking football the way Liverpool and the position we are in. But all of a sudden, the light is at the end of the tunnel, my friends. And possibilities. Big possibilities for Liverpool tomorrow night.
It certainly is. It certainly is. Guys, welcome to the stream as well. I will get into the comment section, but before obviously we do begin, do hit the like on the video and also do hit that big red subscribe button. It takes seconds. It takes seconds and it doesn't cost you a thing. Good evening, Elevator, Escalator fan, sup everybody. Ravi's in. Hello, Ravi. Hope you're good. He says, bug up everyone. Yeah, we will get to team news. I did see Courtois is back. I thought for a moment that we were actually going to be playing against Mr. Lunin instead of Courtois, but no. It has had to happen as well. Hello, Sebastian. By the way, happy 20th birthday, mate. Happy 20th birthday. Hope you have a very, very good day. Welcome to adulthood is what I'll say. At least you don't have your teen years anymore. Definitely. Just Hannah, good evening. Good evening. Dawood as well, good evening. I think we'll win or draw the first leg, and we're for sure. Have a bit more confidence, man. Have a bit more confidence. Deary me. I like how you're realistic, but get some confidence in it. Very confident for tomorrow. See, there you go. Dawood is very, very confident for tomorrow. I think a 2-0 win will make me confident. If we win narrowly, I'm still a little worried, but a bit confident. Spider, how are ye, lads? Douglas, no, long time no see. Yeah, just on Jack Max stream. It was good to see as well. 2 on first leg, 1 second leg. And we will get into that very, very shortly. But it is Liverpool against Real Madrid. Steve, obviously the final in Paris, we absolutely destroyed them, but yet we lost by Vinicius Junior goal. How are you feeling going into tomorrow's game?
We did create chances and we did come up against Courtois having a worldie. I think we need to switch it up a little bit for tomorrow night because Carlo Ancellotti has said on more than one occasion, whilst we're very good, we're also very predictable. This is a man with 4 different formations in his locker. So, tactically, he's well clued up in terms of what he might do. I think if we tried the same game plan, we possibly end up being neutralised again because they were very clever in how they dealt with the space that we want to play in out wide. Carvajal was very aggressive right from the word go on Diaz. And Fernando Mendy was brilliant against Salah. The good news is Fernando Mendy will not play because he's been out for months. It will be David Alaba at left back for Real Madrid, and he doesn't want to play there. So hopefully we can capitalise on that. Yeah, I think we need to look at the tactics. Klopp says he only watched the final yesterday for the first time since the final. He will see that we can't afford to have a situation where Real Madrid lock down those spaces and then say to the likes of Fabinho, like they did in the second half, go on, have the ball 30 yards out, show us what you can do with it, because the answer was not too much. So, yeah, we need to surprise them with something. Hopefully Núñez is fully fit, because he's more direct and quicker than anything they faced in a Liverpool shirt before, and we really could benefit from that. But make no mistake, this isn't the Real Madrid side playing as well as they were last year. This is a tournament we call our own in terms of English clubs. This is a tournament they call their own in terms of worldwide stature. You know, they consider themselves to be the kings of Europe. They have a completely different mentality. We will need to be good.
Yeah, definitely. And Mick, I think as well, like Madrid will be looking at the Champions League again for thinking that this is probably one of their only sort of tournaments that they can probably win. They are 8 points adrift of Barcelona in La Liga. So Carlo Ancelotti will be looking at the Champions League thinking, yeah, we can definitely try and go and defend it again.
Yeah, definitely. And you know how much quality they've got, because we've seen it, unfortunately, over the last couple of years. But like Steve says, they're missing a few players like Cruz and Tchouameni. That can't be understated. How two big players they are. They'll be very missed. But it's very good news for Liverpool, especially for the home leg. Because I mean, if we would have had this game, I think Klopp mentioned today, like if we would have had this game like a couple of weeks ago, it would have been very different. Only that we would have been like in a bad vein of form, going into a new competition. We would have to try and G ourselves up, but we're doing the G'ing up. But we also have a good vein of form as well. So it's a double whammy. We've managed to beat Everton. We've beat Newcastle. Players are coming back from injury. We're looking at a lot more energetic in the right areas, which we want to see. So I mean, we all know Champions League, Anfield, under the lights, it's always a big occasion anyway. But the fact that we've started to put a bit of form together, put into the mix Real Madrid, put into the mix all the times we played them recently. So I feel like it's going to be a proper cauldron tomorrow, and I can't wait, honestly.
Yeah, definitely. And Dave, you know, when this draw was obviously, you know, made, we were not in the best of form. But going into this game, you know, 2 wins on the bounce, the boys will be high on confidence, won't they?
Well, as I said earlier, I mean, if you would have asked me this question 2 weeks ago, I might have had a different answer for you. You know what I mean? But I mean, obviously, psychologically, 2 wins, 2 clean sheets, playing better, looking really dangerous up front. That those three are starting to Gakpo is starting to get his mojo. Salah's coming back to the Salah we all love, we all know is there. Núñez is Captain Chaos again. He trained tonight, so he should be okay. He was training tonight with Arthur Mello, by the way, dragging out, which looked really funny tonight. So I think Núñez will be okay. The key for me is midfield. I mean, they're missing Cruz and Tchouameni, of course. Do we go with the young Stefan Bjasic in midfield? Do we stick with Fab and Hendo, or do we throw Nabilad in? I mean, I think the three that we picked there is huge to winning the game tomorrow night. And I think we can win the game. I think we can win the game tomorrow night. You know, the away goals is going out the window. It doesn't matter about that. You could even 2-1. 2-1 at home sounds terrible when the away goals were there, which it would have been. But I take any win against them to go into the Bernabeu, because that's a different kettle of fish. The only worry in the back of my mind was at the Newcastle game. It was a great win and stuff, but we too many big chances given up. And when you have the likes of Vinicius, a Benzema, or anybody in a Real Madrid team that get three really good one-on-one chances, where Alisson is getting man of the match, where Alisson is pulling off, last-ditch saves, that's a slight worry in the back of my mind. We've done it a few times this season where Alisson's coming off man of the match. It's okay every now and again, but it's a little bit too often for me. That's the transition of the midfield not protecting the back four. Van Dijk's a bit rusty. He's obviously come back from a long-term injury. So that would be a little worry in the back of my mind. Sure, Madrid will be looking at that. They'll give you a chance, whereas the old Liverpool didn't really give you chances, did they? So that's the only real worry for me. But we're going to have to be on the front foot. And I'm sure, as Mick said, the crowd will be up for it tomorrow night. Under the lights, Tuesday night, Anfield, Champions League. We're a different animal in the Champions League. Different animal.
Yeah, certainly are. We will have a look at the Real Madrid squad that's actually going to Liverpool, because I do have it up here. Yeah, I mean, defensively, like, we don't know how fit Carvajal is. We don't know how fit, obviously. Like, Modric is absolutely exhausted from playing in the World Cup, Steve. So we could take that advantage tomorrow. We could potentially be up against the Modric, who, like, Modric is a fantastic player, don't get me wrong. But that midfield is going to be very, very interesting tomorrow for Madrid, isn't it?
Yeah, I've had a chat today with a Real Madrid fan in an Oppo preview, and he did suggest what he thinks will be the team. Do you want me to share that with you now? Will that help for this? It will be Courtois, obviously, in goal. It will be Carvajal, Militao, Rudiger, and Alaba as a back four. Midfield three will be Modric, Camavinga, and Dani Ceballos will play because Valverde is playing on the right-hand side of the front three at the moment, which will be Valverde on the right, Benzema if fit. If not, it'll be Alvaro, the name at the bottom. He's a number 9 from their youth team setup, and obviously Vinicius Junior will play left side of the front three. So Dani Ceballos for me is the one that is the weak link in there. Didn't really pull up trees at Arsenal. Has gone away end of last season, and everyone thought he would leave, but he's forced his way into the reckoning to play in the side. So yeah, the bodies that are missing, your Chemini, you're the guys who are not going to be there, your Cruz, Ferland Mendy, who did a really good job on Salah in the Champions League final. They're big losses. And listen, Benzema's 34, 35 and hasn't played. It might be a Klopp type 60-30, where he doesn't play the whole game, in which case it'll be Alvaro or Rodrigo, another one of the speed merchants that they've got. So, that midfield, not brilliant. That midfield wouldn't be their first choice midfield. So I think that there might be some mileage in that. I think they'll sit in and be pragmatic because they need to be in the tie going back to the Bernabeu. We need to win the game tomorrow. We need to win the tie at Anfield tomorrow for me. So that midfield is absolutely where we get at them.
Yeah, and Mick, the most surprising name in that list is Eden Hazard. I didn't actually think he'd be still at Madrid, but there we go.
Yeah, it's still, I still see the who would you have, Prime Salah or Prime Hazard, and it does make me laugh every time. No doubt on how good Hazard is, but he's kind of, it's mad the trajectory that his career's gone in. You thought like the move to Madrid, he'd keep going higher and higher, but he's kind of stagnated, and it's a bit of a mad one, really. But I agree with Steve completely. Like if Ceballos starts, it's a massive plus for us, because as nice and fancy as he is on the ball, if you get in his face and put a few tackles in, which I'm sure Bacetić would absolutely thrive in doing, then we can start to make those little incremental steps in the game. And I think I agree with Steve as well. Like, we need to not only win the game tomorrow, but if we can manage to somehow get a 2-goal lead going back to their gaff, then we're in a very, very strong position, because, like we said, with the missing midfielders, I think someone put a comment in there, like he might go Rodrigo instead of and put Valverde in midfield, which if he wanted to shore it up a little bit more, maybe he would. But I think Valverde as a wing is probably more dangerous, isn't he? So I don't know. But there's the thing is, we're in a good position now. Like we said a couple of weeks ago, I was looking forward to this with trepidation a little bit, but the fact we're in a bit of form now. They're missing players. Like you said, Doug, they're not. I think they're 8 points off Barcelona, so they're going to be wanting to go for this one, of course, like they always do. But I think we've shown the last 2 games. Like you said, they've still conceding quite a few chances. We still needed Alisson Becker to pull out some absolutely amazing saves to keep us in some of the games, and we want to try and minimise them as much as we can. But I do think we've got a massive chance tomorrow, and I think with, like I said, under the lights at Anfield with the crowd, I was there at Anfield for the Everton game, and it was absolutely massive what that crowd can give to the players, especially when you're in a bad run of form. So I think the fact that we're now another game along, another win along, we can then push into this one and hopefully do a good job.
Yeah, definitely. Dave, is it definitely Vinicius Junior? I think it's safe to say Vinicius Junior is definitely a danger man, but Real Madrid have a lot of danger men in their team, don't they?
Yeah, they do, but actually I was going to just say about Vinicius Junior, he's 3 goals against us, 3 big goals. Obviously, he got the winner last year against us on the back post, slid in, but he's dangerous. He's very pacey. But Benzema, you can't discount Benzema if he's on the pitch, if he's fit. I mean, what is he, 35 now? He is still a fucking, he's an absolute danger, man. They've dangers all over the pitch. Let's be real. Even midfield, they're dangers. They are Real Madrid. What, they've won it 14 times, something like that. It's a proper European royalty. 20 European Cups between these two teams tomorrow night. 20 European Cups. Are you watching Manchester United and Manchester City and anybody else? 20 euro. That's that royalty written all over it. That's a coronation game tomorrow night, and I'm looking forward. I'm looking forward to a big time. I just think, Vinicius Junior for me is the danger man. Really, I think if we can keep him quiet, it will be a big job. But I'll keep harking back to our defense has got to be on tip top. Nothing silly. First 10. We didn't do it in the last 2 games, even though Newcastle started quite fast. They were the home team the last time. But no more, giving away big chances against Alisson, because these boys will take them. These boys will fucking take them. They'll punish you. You know what I mean? You'll get away with it in certain Premier League games. You won't get away with it in the Champions League. We've got to tighten up.
Definitely. Absolutely. We will get into your comments as well. I have obviously alienated the chat, so I do apologise. I was going for 2-1 first leg and 1-1 second leg. I would take that absolutely any day. Jaden Jules is in. Hello. Of course, we're really good at pens. Who knows what will happen if it's tied? Jaden's going 3-1. Very interesting. Sebastian says cheers. I think we'll get something tomorrow. Well, hopefully. I hope for something like 2-0 first leg, which I think we're capable of, as we won our last 2 games 2-0. And if we do win 2-0 in the first leg, I'm fully convinced we will go through. I can't see us losing tomorrow. I think for Madrid to go through, and I still think they will go through, they have to pull off those miracles like last season. Yeah, I mean, see, they've had a few weird results recently. Like, they went to Leipzig and lost 3-2. They lost to Mallorca. And they actually lost after being 1-0 up against Villarreal, and they lost 2-1. So they have a habit of a very, very weird result here and there, don't they?
They do, and they conceded 3 goals to in the final of the World Club Cup as well. They won that 5-3 on the day. So yes, they do ship goals. They're not the side they were 12 months ago that won their league and then also won the Champions League, obviously, as we well know. They do throw in some odd results. I never think it helps when a manager comes out and makes it quite clear this is kind of the last season and that Carlo Ancelotti's off to do something new. I think players give up the ghost a little bit and think, actually, I don't need to play for this guy. I don't need to pull my finger out and be a 9 out of 10 every week. That's human nature. That's nothing else. That's just who am I actually proving myself to type of scenario. So there's a little bit of that, and like Liverpool in some degree, I think you can also look at it and think some of that squad is aging, particularly Modric is 36, Kroos is 32, 33, Benzema's 34, 35, and they don't have, outside of Benzema, a prolific goal scorer. As good as Vinicius Junior is, he's not a particularly prolific forward. He just works really hard and causes loads and loads of problems. So, and they've had injuries. Courtois has been out for a bit. Benzema has been out for a bit. So they found goals hard to come by as well. But I kind of think that it counts for nothing tomorrow night.
Yeah.
So you're at one of the most iconic stadiums in the world under the lights on a Tuesday night. As soon as that Champions League anthem starts, this is Real Madrid versus Liverpool, 20 trophies between them. I don't think that either of them will be thinking about league form or either will be thinking about recent results. It will be, I'm playing for Liverpool, you're playing for Real Madrid, which one of us comes out on top. I think all of that goes out of the window. That's the reason why I love the Champions League as much as I do.
Yeah, I absolutely love the Champions League as well. Ryan is in. Hello, Ryan. Hope you're good. Steve, the best way to win this is play counter-attacking football. Let them have the majority of the ball. Hit them in transition with Salah and Nunez. That is a very good point.
They'll sit in. They will not be able to be pragmatic. They don't need to come out and be expansive. You can't counter-attack someone that's playing a low block.
Yeah. Oliver says, I'll say Liverpool 2, Real Madrid 1. Secondly, Real Madrid 2, Liverpool 1. And Liverpool regress on pens.
Oh, God.
I don't think my heart could take that.
Yeah. Nah, not for me.
Definitely not. Definitely.
Put a fiver on it, will you? Fuck's sake.
Shane, agree. Yeah, I agree with this. We need to stop looking Modric controlling the midfield tomorrow night. 100%. I mean, 36 years of age, Mick. Look at Modric. He's still a wonderful player, isn't he?
He is. It's one of them. Like, I've always wished Liverpool would have signed him if we at the right moment. We probably could have. But I mean, yeah, I don't want to get into the long list of Liverpool players that Liverpool could have signed years ago. But he's one of them. Like, he is magic to watch. He really is, because he's, considering his age, he still manages to glide past people, even people like 10, 15 years his senior, and he can. Yeah, he's just got a brilliant football brain, and he's talented, creative, can score goals, score belters, free kicks, corner, whatever. He can do everything, and I think that's the biggest compliment you can pay him. He's one of the most complete players, I think, ever, to be honest. And the fact that he's now went on to Madrid and won loads of stuff. I don't even know how many Champions Leagues is it 4? Is it, or 5? I think, is he won or something like that, or 3?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, it's he's. I mean, he's, like I said, considering his age, you'd think you'd have to start worrying less about him when you come up against him, but that's not what you do, because he can, like I said, he can cause a bit of chaos in any moment. So that's one we need to watch. But they need to watch, like Dave said, our chaos fella, Darwin Núñez. So maybe chaos versus chaos tomorrow. Let's see.
Yeah, no, I'm looking forward to it, definitely. I need to have him hard stretch of the wings. Yeah, absolutely.
Captain Chaos.
Yeah, we don't actually know sort of how sort of fit Carvajal is. He's obviously just returned as well. Ryan says we can't go toe to toe with Madrid over the 2 legs. We have to be pragmatic like we did against. Yeah, that's a good point, actually. That's a very, very good point. Mark says, yeah, I'm thinking 2-1. I think we need to play front 4 tomorrow. Whoa, that is a very interesting, Shane. Our transitional threat is one of the best in Europe, without doubt. Hit them on the counter attack. Elliot slotting in for Hendo. Yeah, I'm not so sure about that. I mean, the midfield's going to be very, very interesting, Dave. If you were Klopp, would you keep the same midfield of Bajcetic, Fabinho, and Henderson tomorrow?
Well, I'll tell you what a big game it is for young Stefan Bajcetic tomorrow, because he does qualify for Spain and Serbia through his mum and dad, but I think he switched for Spain, and I think Spain are probably even going to call him up soon for senior cap, because they don't want to lose. This guy is going to be the next team Madrid are going to be looking at for 200 million in about 2 years. I mean, this is this level, this guy. And what a big shout if Klopp picks him, which he probably will pick him. He's probably the first name in the bleeding sheet over the last 4 or 5 games, and he plays against Real Madrid at Anfield. He was only in the under-18s, was the last year. I heard him talking with Salah after the Everton game. Like he's like one of these young lads, you kicking the ball on the road and all of a sudden gets dragged. Here, you're playing tomorrow night. Like the old Roy Keane story when he was playing for Cove Ramblers down in Cork, and he got a phone call that Nottingham Forest wanted him, and Nigel Clough, and he's on the bus going down to Anfield, and Nigel Clough comes over to him. I actually listened on Radio 5 Live to that game, Liverpool against Forest. Liverpool won 2-0. And Roy Keane came on. Everybody's going, who's this young lad? He was only 18 at the time, and he had an unbelievable game. And then we all know the rest is history there. But it just shows you, if you're good enough, if you're young enough, good enough, it doesn't matter what age you're good enough, you'll get in there. I had my doubts about he's young, a bit lightweight, midfield, but that lovely turn that he's starting to do is just absolutely continental, baby, isn't it? The lovely little turn, and silky. Okay, he'll bulk up. He will bulk up in the next year or two. He'll get stronger. He'll get more experienced. This guy is just going to keep getting better and better and better. But back to the midfield, I did say earlier to Steve as well that he might flick it up, but might switch it up. But I think he'll stick with nearly the same team that we played against Newcastle. I mean, why change a winning formula? Why? Okay, we need to tighten up the back, but I think it'll be the exact same team unless there's an injury somewhere. I think Darwin will be okay.
Yeah, I think so. Cody Gakpo, Steve, has taken a bit of time for him to obviously settle in, but he didn't have any goals in 6 games. Now it's 2-2. His confidence will be very, very up, won't it?
Oh yeah, massively so. I've liked him from day one. He looks after the ball really well. You can see he's being sort of nurtured into the false 9 role by playing him more central. A 4-2-3-1 with him behind Núñez and, let's say, Diaz to the left and Salah to the right is quite mouth-watering, isn't it? And don't be surprised if we don't do that next season, because I think we'll need to play more on the front foot. He's a talent, mate. His goal was really good. The timing of his run was really good. His first touch, because of the spin on the ball, was difficult. And then he put it away well against Newcastle at the weekend. So, like I say, the goal against Everton is just about arriving in the right spot at the right time and gambling on something. And that's a goal scorer's instinct. Jota's got that. That's a Jota type goal, that is. The one reservation I had, and I wouldn't call it a concern, is I'd never actually seen him sprint. I'd never seen him stretch his legs until Núñez broke away against Everton. And if Salah doesn't score that goal, Gakpo does, because he's matching him stride for stride. I mean, the guy's 6'4". You know yourself, Doug. Tall guys have a long stretch when they run, don't they? So
yes,
smaller players have to make 6 strides to keep up with you long-legged type. So to be fair, he's kind of answered my questions. He's quick. He's scoring goals. He looks after the ball really well. It could end up being a steal at what we paid for him. And if we do go for a 4-2-3-1 and he plays in that role, I think he's learning about that now. And I just love the way he looks after the ball. He very rarely gives the ball away.
No, definitely. And I think as well, we have to say that he has obviously come from the Dutch league. It's obviously not the most sort of prestigious, but I think as well, it's his Champions League debut tomorrow. I think people kind of forget that. It is his Champions League debut tomorrow, Mick. So what an occasion for him to have a debut against probably, arguably, one of the greatest sides in European football history.
Yeah, proper baptism of fire, innit? Going straight into a game like that at Anfield, but what better occasion to do it? But yeah, he's it's funny because he's had a lot of criticism, hasn't he? Like in terms of him coming into the side, playing as a 9, people having the reservations, and rightly so, because a very, very bad Liverpool team has been present for a majority of this season up until the last couple of weeks, where we started to see some green shoots of light and energy, which has been nice to see. But he's been like trying to learn that position, and he wouldn't have ever been starting these games if we had Diaz and Jota available. He would have been coming off the bench and maybe going left, going into the 9 position for 10 minutes, 20 minutes, half an hour, trying to elongate those sub appearances, trying to get him ready for what Klopp ultimately wants to do, is get him into those central areas, which is, I think, is a surprise us all, because we all just thought another left winger. He's obviously played there loads for PSV, played a bit up front for Holland, but he's going to be a left winger. And then Klopp's like, nah, I fancy him as a 9, and you can see why. And I think similar reservations to you, Steve, where you're like, come on, lad, just proper sprint. And I think you can see the pace that he's got, but it's his touch where he's getting into those positions, and he's obviously got a very clever brain. The run for his goal, as much as Salah's assist was great, he knew exactly where to be, and he timed his run to perfection. The first touch, like you said, Steve, was amazing, cushioned it, and then obviously because he's massive, them long legs came in very handy where he had to fit it. But yeah, been very, very impressed with him. Obviously, a lot of Jordy was out on him by a lot of people, but I think the last couple of games he started to find his feet. No coincidence that Liverpool have started to find their feet as well at the same time. So I think it's coincided nicely. Pachetic coming into the side as well, doing very well. So yeah, I think there's loads of positive signs, and yeah, with Liverpool getting better, these players are only going to get better and better as well. So it's very exciting.
Definitely. And Dave, we're getting players back at the right time. Jota, Bobby, Van Dijk. I think you'll probably have like Thiago coming back soon, Luis Diaz. Like, this is when we really need to put on a very, very good run if we want to get top 4 and obviously Champions League football next season.
Yeah, everybody's coming back perfectly. I think Diaz is still another 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks away. Kanate, Thiago, another 2 weeks. But just nice. Do you know what it is? Looking at the bench, our bench a few weeks ago was just decimated. We no bench. We had absolutely no bench. We had like a schoolboy's bench, basically, on a Sunday morning. A cold Sunday morning. You look at the bench, go, uh-oh. But all of a sudden, the bench is stronger. You've Bobby there. You've Jota. I mean, Jota had a header. He's great. He usually buries them against Newcastle late on. But he always gets into those positions. That just gives you something. If the game isn't going right and you've players on the bench that you say, okay, last 20, 25, something's going to happen with Jota coming on 2025 against Madrid if you need a goal. Even Bobby. I mean, I've seen a lovely little cameo on Twitter. I think you might have put it up, Mick. I don't know, the little cameo of Bobby going up, but it went by about 4 Newcastle players. I don't know if you've seen that. But just to have that little bit of, on the bench, there's obviously a smashing of bits of experience with Milner. Milli Vanilli's there. Naby Keita can come on. Just gives you little bits, and it actually gives the players on the pitch confidence. Look, if
100%.
bench there, if it's not working, I can come off your man, come on and do something for me. So the game could actually be won tomorrow night on the bench. The game could come down. I think it'd be a tight. I'm going to think it's a tight game. And, we'd all love a 3-0 win or a 2-0 win and all this. I think it's going to be a really, really tight game. I'd take 1-0 all day long. Would that be enough going to the Bernabeu? I don't know. But it's important to get our noses ahead tomorrow night. It really is. You don't want to be going to the Bernabeu, even with a draw tomorrow night. You don't want to be going to the Bernabeu with a draw, because I think you'd be in big trouble. They'll have other players coming back by then. But I think we could do it tomorrow night. But as I say, I think the bench will be really important tomorrow night. And let's see what happens. But I'm actually confident going into tomorrow night. I'm actually confident. And I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, absolutely. Ryan says he could put Rodrigo on the right and play Valverde in midfield instead of Sabat. Yeah, that is very, very true. Ellie should be nowhere near this game. Nowhere near. Yes, Real Madrid have injuries. Furlan Mendy, Tchouaméni. Who's the other one? Tony Cruz. They're the injury doubts as well. Nicola's in. Best of luck. Yes, best of luck to Internazionale against Porto on actually no, it's tomorrow. It's the same day as Hazard won't appear for a minute in this game. Yeah, I think pound for pound, he's probably the worst transfer in Spanish La Liga history. And that's even saying something when you consider that Coutinho went to Barcelona as well. Big up Anthony. Not an easy game this. Would you be happy with a draw? I want a first leg lead, to be honest, mate. I want a first leg lead, because I think if we go there with a draw, then we'll have to probably come out and attack more. And I don't really want that. But I think if we get a first leg lead, they'll have to come out more, and then I think the spaces will open. And let's be honest, Rudiger's no the quickest. He is a little bit rash, actually, Steve Rudiger. We obviously seen him from his time at Chelsea. He can be dangerous from a set piece, but he is very, very rash.
He's a lunatic, so let's be honest. He's quite capable of. Someone put the card thing up then. Yeah, he's quite capable of getting a card. He is rash. You're right. He does dive in his hot head. I've seen some clips when Chelsea have scored goals and he's doing this mad thing by himself, and he wants knocking up for it, mate. You want the men in the white coats to come and take him away. He's absolutely mad. Yeah, they're conceding goals. And I think they're conceding goals down his side. You look at what happened in the World Cup when he was doing the high steps, and then the Japanese lad whipped in round the back of them and scored. So I'd like to see a bit of that tomorrow night. But he's certainly one you can get at. He is a good player, but you're right. His head goes. He loses the plot. So it would be nice to see that. And there won't be many more pressurised places to go than Liverpool fans baying for his blood, being an ex-Chelsea player, and yes. we'll be right on top of them for the whole game. So I think it will be really loud in there tomorrow night, and exactly the type of environment a player with a capacity to lose his head might find difficult.
Yeah, definitely. Also, we were speaking obviously about Ancellotti potentially leaving at the end of the season. Mick, did you hear the rumour potentially about him managing the Brazil national team?
I did actually, yeah. It's all a bit mad though, isn't it? Like, I agree with what Steve was saying before, like to kind of announce it so early in advance. It's like it's a bit of a weird one, because it's kind of, I don't know if it, all those like team talks and whatever. I don't know if it's just me over like thinking maybe they kind of go to not to nothing, but it's like, this fella's going to be leaving at the end of the season, and you kind of like, what does the future hold for me? Will I have to move on, etc., etc. So yeah, mad one. But I don't know if he'd like a little trip into international management. I think there's always managers like that link, like Klopp to Germany and whatever. But I don't know. I don't know if he doesn't strike me as the type. But I don't know. No, I have no idea. But obviously, the Klopp was mentioned today. Like, he's like the calmest manager like ever. He's like so laid back. He's lying down. But we know how good he is. He's mentioned before, like Liverpool have a certain style of play and whatever else. We know how to play against us. We know how to play against them. Yeah. But it depends what Klopp fancies doing. But it'll definitely be interesting.
Yeah, definitely. Indian Scouser is on. Narit, hope you're good. Spain's future mid trio: Bacetic, Pedri, and Gavi. Yeah, that is a very, very good midfield, I've got to say. Salah hasn't spoken before the game and said the word revenge. We might be in business. Yeah, I think we have a chance as long as we are clinical and keep Real Madrid players quiet. Our attacking depth is really good. We've got different options, a variety of options to bring different things to the team. Yeah, absolutely. Tomorrow's the day people respect on Gakpo's name. There's reason Ten Hag wanted him too. Yes, indeed. He did want him, indeed. A few weeks ago, I was not confident, but now I have high hopes for tomorrow night. Well, one man we will certainly need to be on top form is this man, Dave, Alisson Becker. I mean, you've got to say, again, man of the match against Newcastle. But there's no goalkeeper in the world I would exchange for Alisson, because I just think Alisson, for me, has been undoubtedly our player of the season this season.
And he can score headers. Like, let's be real. You know, many keepers can score headers, winners in injury time. Look, Alisson is the best goalkeeper in the world right now, and has been probably in the last 3 or 4 seasons. His distribution, okay, he can make a mistake. Every goalkeeper makes mistakes, especially the way he plays. He probably has more touches in the game than midfielders. I mean, you know what I mean? He controls the game from the back, and even that ball over the top for Salah, he's done it so many times. Salah can read it, runs onto it, and he gets sent off. The Newcastle keeper sent off. Remember the goal he got against United to make it 2-0?
Yes.
Just before the end of the game, ball over the top, Salah, bang. So he's got that in his locker. But the only worry, as I said to me, I don't like my goalkeeper being overworked. Do you know what I mean?
No.
That points to fragility in the team for me. Is somewhere in the team, and it's either in the centre halves or the midfield not working properly. So I'm hoping Alisson has a quiet game tomorrow night, and we're not talking about Alisson Becker, you know, pulling off bleeding saves left, right, and centre. He can do that in the Bernabeu when we go through. But I want Alisson to be reading a book and, you know, reading 2 or 3 novels tomorrow night, sitting on the goal line or on the goalpost reading a book. I don't want him, you know, but I'm sure he will be involved tomorrow night because Madrid are that good. But as I said earlier, he's best goalkeeper. And I mean, one-on-ones, he's just ridiculously good. He's a big lad. He's got that spider thing where they jump out. Remember Schmeichel used to do it in the 90s? One of the first keepers to do it for United in Denmark at the time. His son did it as well at Leicester. But the big spider where he jumps out and makes himself big. He did it for the first. I think your man went through. What was it? What's his name? Moran went through. Only a few minutes on the clock. Yeah. And just bang, the big hand came out. So yeah, Alisson's best goalkeeper in the world, there's no doubt about it. But I want him to have a quiet game tomorrow night.
Yeah, quiet game against Madrid. That'd be absolutely lovely.
A quiet game against Madrid with a great chance of winning, don't we? You know what I mean? That's the way I'm looking at it.
That is very, very true. It's on Wednesday. Do you know what? I was actually thinking in my head, Nicola. It's Eintracht Frankfurt, Napoli tomorrow, and then it's Liverpool, Madrid, and then it's obviously International against Porto, and then RB Leipzig against Manchester City, which will not be an easy game as well. Michael Talks Football, thank you very much for your super chat, mate. Please go and check out Michael Talks Football. Doing a big preview this evening as well, so go and check that out. FSG out. Trent versus Vini is a battle we won't win. Well, we will see. We'll see indeed. But thank you very much for your super chat. Anyway, all right, the firm, says Tom. Jack's available. Drop us the link, mate. Got 10 to 20 minutes. I will drop you the link very, very soon, my friend. Very, very, very soon. Douglas, I'm putting it out there. You get top 4. Yeah, Steve, a couple of weeks ago, top 4 looked almost out of reach. But ever since then, those 2 wins, and with obviously Newcastle sort of dropping points as well, do you think top 4 is still on?
You'd have to say it is, because we're no longer looking at Newcastle as the target Spurs now, isn't it? So with the game in hand, we can get to within 4 points, I think it is, of them, somewhere in the region of that. Yeah, I would say we're in with a shout. Small margins, change teams, change games, change form, change all of it. And there's a little bit of spring in the step at the moment. And the most important thing, and I think the thing that brought it all back together, was Monday night against Everton. That's the first time this season when it's got sort of dark arts and a bit nasty in the middle of the park, we've come out on top. There was a fighting spirit in there, which I hadn't seen this season. And I thought we were a bit soft. That's gone. Two clean sheets, 6 points. Newcastle away, tough game. I mean, the only team to beat Newcastle this season is us twice.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, top 4 is on. It's difficult. Let's be honest, it's difficult. We've probably given ourselves more work than we'd like to do to get there.
Yeah.
But this side is capable of winning 5, 6, 7, 8, possibly 10 games in a row, and it will
100%.
take that. Add to that, some of the teams who are vying for top 4 don't really want to put on a run themselves and nail down that position. It's kind of like a hot potato. Nobody really wants it. And we're quite capable of getting into that position where we can take it back. But it will take a similar style finish to what we had when we did the 28 out of 30 points with Williams and Phillips playing the centre-backs. We've an awful lot of work to do to get it right, to get into top 4.
Those were the days, weren't they? Those were the days.
I have faith. I have faith that we can do it. Something's changed. There's a little bit about the boys now. They look like they want to play football. And to finish my point, they're actually looking forward to playing Real Madrid tomorrow. 2 weeks ago, they wouldn't have been looking forward to it. There's the difference.
Absolutely. Yeah, definitely, mate. Jack, I'm just going to send you the link over on Twitter, mate. So please get your Twitter DMs open, and I will send you the link, my friend. Where are you? You know, the funny thing is when you're obviously doing these, you forget that you forget what names people's channels are, and obviously there you go, Jack. It is sent now for you, mate. So there you go, my friend. It'd be good to have you, as well. Adita says, "Hey Douglas, just opened the stream. I just wanted to say about the sale thing that I'm relieved that Liverpool won't be an oil club." Yeah, there's been a lot of. I don't really want to get into sort of the FSG sort of thing, really. But Dave, what did you make of John W. Henry coming out and say that Liverpool are not for sale?
I sort of knew. I've been doing loads of videos on this for fucking about 6 months. I knew originally it was only an investment thing. They wanted partial investment. We know Redbird capital of 11%. You're probably looking to sell another 10, 15% to bring in 300 or 400 million. Do it that way, and then you can get your Bellinghams and whoever you want and stuff like that. I mean, Liverpool are basically a cash cow at the moment. I think we were second last year in profit made. So why would you get rid of them? But they're probably looking at the Chelsea thing, where Chelsea got huge money. Was it 2.5 billion? I think Chelsea were, and Chelsea aren't anywhere near as big as Liverpool. They're probably looking at that. Wow, if Chelsea were 2.5, Liverpool are surely worth 4. And then they're looking at United now. United is probably scuppered them coming in as well, with the Qataris coming in, which is a bad thing to say, really. You know, you don't want Liverpool and United being sold at the same time. It just doesn't make sense. Then you've got the whole social thing, Liverpool, the heritage, the history around. There's human rights involved with Saudis. There's human rights involved with all the Qataris and all stuff like that. And, you know, every billionaire has some problem somewhere. Probably that's how they made their money. But look, I don't know what's going to happen. I'd be surprised if we're sold anytime soon now, to be fair. I think it will be some sort of an investment thing. Maybe in the future, maybe another 2-3 years, something will happen. But can I see it this summer? I can't see it now. And a lot of people won't like to hear that, I'm sure, because United look like they're going to be sold to the Qataris for whatever, 5-6 billion. And we'll have City, United and Newcastle owned by, like, basically trillionaires, billionaires, whatever you want to call them. And it's messy. It's going to get messy, guys. And I think the Premier League should be really looking at it. How do you allow it even to come to this? Money talks. It's all about the money. That's what it's all about. I mean, to let it even come to this, where states-owned clubs is I think, ridiculous. Do I want billionaires to come into Liverpool and splash the cash? Absolutely. But do I think it's going to happen in any time soon? No.
Yeah, no, but I didn't really want to get into sort of the FSG talk on, obviously, a Real Madrid preview, to be honest with you. Good evening, Mr. Jack Mack. How are you, mate?
Yeah, not too bad, mate. Sorry, obviously, I did send you a video, but wasn't too sure if it'd be off one of the other lad shows before. But how are we, boys? Hope you're well. Really looking forward to it. The game tomorrow night, mate. As I said, yeah, I'm quite positive going into tomorrow night's game.
Yeah. Well, we will get into sort of team lineups. Mick, what would your team lineup be tomorrow?
I think I'd be tempted to go the same again, to be honest, just because I know we've been saying like we've been shipping some chances and we're relying on the genius of Ali, but I think they deserve another go. Yeah, just looking. I don't know. I mean, Jota got another half an hour. Bobby got another half an hour. So more minutes in the legs for them. And I think it's best to keep them on the bench for now, just to, like we were saying before, like have a bench option. Like if it's 0-0, 20 to go, you bring on Jota and Bobby. It's like, yeah, we can actually cause more chaos here with getting those people onto the pitch. So yeah, I mean, Bajcetic, I think it's funny because like he's came into the team and he's been our best player when we've been absolutely shit, and now we're getting better. He's still one of our best players. I think that's the testament to how good he is, and he deserves. Because I think there was some question marks over the Everton game whether he was going to start, mainly on Twitter. Like, to be fair, so I don't know how much you can gauge from that, but he's gone from strength to strength with his performances. So I don't think you change anything. I think you go. Obviously, we mentioned like Darwin, if he's going to be fit or not, but I think he was in training today. So yeah, go for the exact same team. Tell them exactly what they did against Newcastle. Do that again, and if we need to change it with on 60 or 70, bring on the likes of a Jota, Harvey Elliott, whoever you want, just to throw some more energy into certain areas. Then I think that's probably our best bet. But I think at the minute, the way we're playing, I think that's probably the best thing to do.
Yeah, Steve.
Yeah, I agree with all of that. I think it's the same team, same squad. Bajcetic just deserved his place in there. The boys have referenced how good he is. We've all referenced how good he is throughout this entire stream, and he really is. He will save us 50 million quid for sure. To think we paid 220 grand for him from Celta Vigo is insane. How good he is already. Yeah. Do it. Go with the same. Reward people who are playing well. They will give you something back if you show faith in them. Is my belief. Darwin trained today, so hopefully he's not too sore. We'll need that movement and that ability to run in behind when we get opportunities to do that. And he likes to dig from 30 yards as well, doesn't he? So we might need one of them if they sit in deep. So yeah, go with the same squad as far as I'm concerned. The other lads around the squad, as yet, haven't earned the right to take the shirts off them. And we're not seeing a Diaz fit yet, because when he's fit, I think he really makes it a difficult decision for Klopp. But I go with what we've seen certainly in the Newcastle, the same team that started at Newcastle.
Yeah, Dave.
Yeah, pretty much. I know I was talking about fiddling around with the midfield, but I don't think he will. It's too big of a game. Why would you change it now? Same team. Another thing is Salah's form has just not even the goals that he scored, and he's scoring goals, and that ball to Hakpo. I mean, that was just delicious. The little turn. There's a bit more swagger in Salah. There's a bit more. He's running back. He's chasing back. That old Salah's back. That's another sign. The front three are all clicking. They're all enjoying the football. They're all enjoying to be out there. A few weeks ago, they were shrugging shoulders. Their heads were down. Now it's looking for the ball, running at the ball, wanting the ball. Captain Chaos, go Gakpo. And Mohala, the king of Egypt. They're the three. And if Jota has got Dalota and Bobby no look on the bench, what more do you want, baby? So let's go. Let's get the win. Let's get stuck into them tomorrow night. I'm sure the Anfield will be the 12th man, of course. We got to just put something in tomorrow night. Put it all in. Put a performance in. I want a performance tomorrow night. I want to win, of course I do. I still think it's going to be tight over the two legs. Probably even only a goal in it over the two legs. But if any team can beat Real Madrid, it is Klopp's Liverpool. Let's go.
Let's go indeed. Jack?
Yeah, echo what the lads have said. One change. Me and Mick were speaking after the game, and we alluded to the Bajcetic. The way in which he's pirouetted away from that Newcastle midfield was a thing of brilliance, and the spatial awareness for such a young lad already, especially in one of the most difficult stadiums in the whole of Europe to go to. In all honesty, yes, Newcastle had one or two players out, and obviously Bruno Gimenez. But even still, you've still got to go to Newcastle, travel all that way, and put in a performance. And that's very much what we did. And similar, like with Newcastle, of course, people will allude to, we spoke about it on our show maybe before, like we did against Barca, if you can have a spell, a 20, 30-minute period where we just blow this Real Madrid side away, And if that's all that's needed, of course, 180 minutes, you need to be on top of your game over 2 legs, but we're fully capable. And yeah, I'm excited. It was the off-the-ball movement, the confidence now, that goal on Monday night, it's give against the Ev as well, that give Gakpo the confidence, to give Salah, to give all of them. Football can be very fickle, as we know. Like, confidence trumps everything. When any elite level athlete is playing with confidence, then they can very much elevate their games to much higher proportions, really. So, yeah, the crowds, and this is Anfield, and of course you can't disregard, and don't forget, none of us have, in terms of the quality that they do offer Real Madrid. But similar, I think was Modric was saying this week, they've not had the best season in La Liga this year as well. Obviously lost 3 times in La Liga, and they've shown their frailties, but we just need to take our chances, boys. We absolutely battered them 7 months ago in the final. Hopefully we can do that over the space of 2 legs. I'm pretty sure we can do that. And obviously, if we can, Luis Diaz potentially coming back in the second leg as well. So, yeah, all good. We'll find out tomorrow night.
It is looking very, very good. There is a question in the chat. Now, we have to be honest. I never saw this coming. I'll get everyone's thoughts on this, because obviously with Nick Pope getting sent off, Martin Dubravka actually played for Manchester United in the League Cup. So he's obviously cup tied. So the choices are Loris Karius, who has only played 1 game for Newcastle. I think it was in a pre-season friendly, when I think they were in, obviously, Saudi Arabia. I think they won 5-0. Or Mark Gillespie, who I remember very, very vaguely at Motherwell. I mean, Mick, this is Karius' chance to be a hero almost for Newcastle, isn't it?
Come on.
It's I don't know. I don't know what he's been betting on, but the stars have aligned somehow for him, and he's potentially going to be starting a Carabao Cup final. I don't know. It's a mad one, because he gets a lot of grief, doesn't he? Because of obviously the final against Madrid and whatever. And I absolutely hated his guts for about 6 months to 12 months, but I'm kind of just over it now. When I do see his face, I do that picture.
Feel sorry for him, Mick.
He's like crying. Yeah, that's what I mean. I just feel a bit sorry for him, to be fair, because it's like, obviously had like a massive bang to the head, and when you watch back, like sometimes you see that, like the goal where he just threw at Benzema's leg, and you just like, there's obviously someone went wrong very, very badly in his head that night. But yeah, I don't know if he plays. It's a bit of a mad one to come back into, because I think he's not played a game of footy for quite a while as well, has he? So he's just been on the saving Bruno Guimaraes pelters in training, or just I don't know what he's been doing. But I don't know. I suppose I'm happy for him in a way, because it gives him a chance. But
redemption for Liverpool fans. If he gets man of the match display against United and Newcastle win the League Cup, there's your redemption right there.
I would take his mobile phone off him and make sure he gets suspended for Instagram for a week. Because he's too busy doing selfies to concentrate on football. Yeah. That was always part of his problem, you know. So from Newcastle, he walks up this morning. You know you're playing if the boss says, "Give me your phone, give me your tablet." What? I'm going to log you out of Instagram. You know you've got half a chance of playing then. Yeah, I'm not sure it would be redemption. That is the most spectacular fail ever, isn't it? What happened to him in the final? Yeah, if he plays, so be it. Dubravka can't lose, really. He gets to celebrate with the trophy at Newcastle, or he gets a winner's medal should United win, because he's eligible for one.
Yeah. It just that just does not make any sense whatsoever. But no, obviously, good luck to Karius. I mean, Billy says in the chat, "Don't worry about us against Newcastle. Concentrate on Modric tomorrow, lads." Yeah, look, it's going to be very, very interesting. I mean, I was actually looking at the fixture list, Dave. Like, we've got a few games coming up thick and fast. We've got, obviously, Madrid tomorrow. We've got Crystal Palace at 7:45 on a Saturday evening. I have no idea where Sky think they're getting those times from, but 7:45 on a Saturday evening is ridiculous. Then we've got Wolves on Wednesday, the 1st of March. Then it's Manchester United. So this is a chance to sort of get a bit of momentum going, isn't it?
It is, but as Klopp always says, I know, sure he doesn't, but he always says just one game at a time. You know what I mean? And every game you win, and every performance does better and better and better. You just look. I always do it. I mean, I'm looking at Palace at the weekend, as you said, quarter 8, weird kickoff time. That's a tough place to go. That's going to be a different game altogether. But we've got to do our job tomorrow night. We've got to beat Madrid, have confidence to bring into the Palace game. And then the Palace game looks after itself. And then obviously injuries and who's available and whatever. So, as you said rightly, next 4 or 5 games are huge. United, of course, is a big one at Anfield. I want to do them at Anfield big time, obviously. And then we've got Wolves, who we seem to play every week. So we have them again next week. It's like Groundhog Day. Do you ever see that movie? Just looking around, all I see is Brighton and Wolves bleeding, flags everywhere. What's going on? But yeah, look, we've a big week. I mean, we're Liverpool Football Club. Every week's big. You know what I mean? Every game's big.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to beat us because we're Liverpool. But all my eyes and all my energy is on tomorrow night.
Yeah, 100%. We will get score predictions now. Steve, what are you going to go for?
I think we win. But I think they score because they will get chances because that's just the way football is these days. It was never as bad as Carragher was suggesting the other night, by the way, at Newcastle, but hard place to go. I'd like to say 3-1, which would be cool. I think the front three are firing. I think we have to take the mentality that we have to win the game, if not the tie, tomorrow night. So I'm gonna be bold. I'm gonna say we'll go for it, and I think we might win 3-1.
3-1. Ooh, interesting, Dave.
Jeez, 6-0. But look, I think it'll be a tight game tomorrow night. I don't know. It's a forced leg game. You don't want to make it too many mistakes, but we've got to make home form and home count. You know, you've got to we'll be going back to Anfield every night. Crowd Tuesday night, up for it under the lights. Bernabeu's a tough place to go to, of course. I think Liverpool will win, but as Steve says, I think defensively, just at the moment, we are a little bit creaky, even though we've 2 clean sheets. But as I said, we give away chances. They'll get a goal, but I think we'll get 2. I think it'll be 2-1. I think it'll be a tight game. 2-1.
2-1. Mick?
I'm going to go for 3 consecutive 2-0s. I'm going to go for 2-0.
Oh, I love it.
I feel like they'll have some chances, of course, but I just feel like renewed confidence that we've got. They're missing players like we've mentioned. I just feel like at Anfield with the atmosphere, Real Madrid at home, like it doesn't get any bigger than that. And I just feel like we'll be on it from the off because the crowd won't let them not be. So I'd love a little one maybe early doors, then one before half time, and then just kind of not see the game out because that's not Liverpool's style at all. But maybe just keep trying to create stuff, and if we nick another, then sound. But I think if we win 1-0, I don't know if it's like we've mentioned. I don't know if it's going to be enough, especially going over to their place. I think if we can get, if it's like Steve said, 3-1 or 2-0, something like that, where we've got a 2-goal cushion, I think that would be absolutely perfect. But I think it's nice that we're all saying this and we're all predicting wins as well, and not like we're in a position where Liverpool are actually going to turn up tomorrow. But yeah, I'll go for 2-0. Darwin Núñez, both of them.
2-0. I would definitely take a 2-0. Jack?
I concur with Mick. Go with a 2-0. And I'm hoping it kickstarts, well and truly kickstarts our season, because forget what's gone before and we're just focused on game to game. It will fundamentally come down to that right-hand side in reality. Salah, Mo, Henderson. I think if Trent's on his game tomorrow night, I'm hoping we do get a Barcelona moment, something that gets replayed for the next 10 years if we are to go on and win the competition. But we've just got to get past Real Madrid first, mate. But yeah, if Trent's on his game, we're capable of winning any side in Europe, mate. So go 2-0. Yeah. I get Núñez to get one. Christ, the roof will well and truly go off the place if he gets one, mate. Definitely. So yeah, and Hendo penalty. I was saying Hendo's going to take penalty. Salah penalty, though. There you go.
Henderson penalty?
Well, no, Salah penalty, because I was on with Steve before, and the statistically, that referee has given like 36 odd penalties in this season. Oh. So he's a referee that likes to give penalties, just saying it, I'll put it that way.
Oh joy! I'm gonna go 3-1 as well. I think that we will. I think that we will get a first leg league. Hopefully. Fingers crossed. But guys, it has been fantastic. It's been a lovely preview. Big thank you to the lads here. Steve Plunk, who is now you'll see him on Redmen TV. How's that going, mate?
Yeah, it's good, mate. It's not really a job, to be fair. Mick comes in quite a lot to HQ and he sees what we do. Mick and I have had a game of pool and I'm supposed to be working. It's a bit like that. It's very laid back environment. It's boss, for a guy that spent the last 25 years building a career to be given the opportunity to go and piss about and get paid for it and talk about football. Let's be honest, the guys who own it will tell you it's exactly the same thing, mate. It's pretty cool, to be fair. I still can't quite believe from the tiny little YouTube channel that you came on and hosting on other people's YouTube channels that you came on. I've ended up where I am. So happy days, mate. It's all good and onwards and upwards.
Yeah, no, it's fabulous to get you back on, and we certainly won't make it 12 months again for you to come back on anyway. I'll just say
Thanks for having me. Thanks for having me on, mate. Pleasure.
It's an absolute pleasure. Dave, thank you very much for coming on. Again, like obviously I've said to Steve, I need to get you back on at some point as well. But tell the people where they can find you and your fantastic channel.
Dave's LSC Chats, Twitter, YouTube, and Instagram. Give us a sub. Show us your love. And give love to all these guys that are here tonight. Absolute legends. I'll always come on. It's just timing for me. I have a little girl, she's 12, and big year with confirmations and birthdays. There was a birthday. She was 12 on Thursday. She's going to a new school in the summer. So much stuff happening. And to fit in Liverpool, it doesn't make it easy. But just try to do as much content, a bit of fun, try to get you guys on a lot more. It's just fitting it in. It's a hobby for me, and that's the way it will be. And I just love doing it. Great crack.
Yeah, absolutely. And Mick, the Cop-Eight is going from strength to strength. I mean, you're obviously still on audio, but some of the guests you have had on, Simon Rimmer, Alex Horn, the only way is up for you guys, isn't it?
Yeah, it's all right. It's just one of them, like similar to Dave. Like, it's just enjoyable just to talk to people who have, like, I don't know, whether it's celebrities and what their stories, how they support Liverpool and why. It's just interesting. I Carragher on not long ago. That was a good one. But yeah, it's just a laugh, and I do kind of miss the YouTube a little bit, but I just thought it was because we started off back in 2018 just doing audio. And I always kind of wanted to go back to that eventually. We took the plunge into YouTube, and then kind of just thought, let's just swerve it, go back to audio, and it's been going really well. So I thought, let's stick with it for now. Might go back into it in the future, but if you're not following us on the Cop-Eight podcast, so it's on Spotify and all the audio pods that you're listening to. So any of the popular ones, I imagine it'll be on there. So if you want to go and have a listen, then please do. Nice one.
Yeah. Absolutely. No, Mick, has been fantastic to get you on. And he came in very, very late, but always a pleasure to have Mr. Jack Mack on as well. Tell the people where they can find you.
Yeah, Anfield Road TV, mate. As I said, it's great to speak to the lads again. And everyone, if you go in the game or whatever you're watching, just enjoy it, Reds. It'll be sound. I'm fully confident. But thank you for coming on my show, Doug, as well, an hour ago. Really do appreciate it, matey. And lads, enjoy it. And as I said, mate, also thank you. And look after yourselves. Yeah, absolutely. Rich Sports, hello, mate. Confident. I think we're all a wee bit feeling a wee bit confident as well. And yes, FSG are not selling, which I think kind of everyone sort of expected. Andrew Quinn's going for a Darwin hat trick. That would be amazing. But thank you very much for watching. Go and check out all the guys' YouTubes, and obviously check out the Cop-Eight on obviously audio, all your Spotify, Apple, everything. Please go and check them out as well. But thank you very much for watching. It's going to be a very interesting game tomorrow. Let me just say that. But come on, Liverpool. You'll never walk alone. See you later. Bye-bye.